Hello, 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 everyone. This is Kenneth Dennis, the founder of TaxProGrow.com. I am so excited to be here with you guys all today. And today's topic is going to be on the 5 things you need to know to generate high quality tax planning leads. So I'm super excited about this topic today because a lot of us, when it comes to our tax firms, or if we're thinking about starting a tax firm, the blood flow of our business is having quality leads so we can close those and get deals and exponentially grow our business. But if we're not able to actually get high quality leads, we're not able to close, we're wasting our time speaking to these people when we could be doing billable work and all that type of good stuff. So we really, really want to focus on how can we generate high quality tax planning leads every single month, every single week, so we can close these deals and grow our firms. So what we're going to do is we're going to hop right into the subject, and I'm going to give you guys some great information on exactly how you can do that and grow your business. So first off, let's start off with what is a high value lead, because that's incredibly important. And a lead is a person who is interested in a particular service we offer, and they fit the exact customer type who would purchase this service offering. Okay, so it's not like we have a W-2 employee and they're interested in tax planning when they don't have a business or anything like that. It's a person to service fit. So this person could be a real estate investor and they are interested in tax planning because they have extremely high tax bills. This is a person who's interested in a particular service we offer who fits the exact customer type. And that's a high value lead. If we can, generate leads like that every single day of our most ideal client, then we can definitely grow our business exponentially. And that's what we want to do. We don't want to bring in low value leads because we're wasting time, wasting energy, wasting resources, and therefore wasting money. And that's exactly what we don't want to be doing. So why do we want to get high value leads? Because we're able to speak to our best potential customers daily. If I was to ask you, would you want to speak to your most ideal customer every single day, or would you want to speak to a person who's not your ideal customer and waste your time? 10 times out of 10, the person's going to say they're going to speak to their most high value clients. They're better suited for our services, which means it's going to be a better, product, service product fit for our customers. Then as well, they're going to be easier to close on our services because they have the exact problem that our services fixes. And that's extremely important because if we have a person who isn't qualified and we're trying to sell them on tax planning and they really don't pay any taxes at all, then they're not going to be suited. They're not going to be a person who would feel the pain and want to spend $3,000 to $5,000 on a service because they don't have that pain. You see what I'm saying? So that's why it's so important for this customer to have the exact problem that our service fixes. Incredibly, incredibly important. So now let's dig into the steps to getting high value tax planning leads. This is incredibly important. So there's a few steps. I'm going to go through all these steps. So the first step is understanding exactly who your target customer is. The next one is what core problems do they have? What makes your service offering different? Where do they hang out? Create a value exchange, which is very important, which I'm going to dig into, and create an opportunity for them to book an appointment and fill out a survey. So these are the core steps that you need to take to generate high value tax planning leads. And we're going to kind of dig into them a little bit more and give you some more value so you can really understand how this process works. So the first step is defining who your target customer is. So before we can even think about generating a high value tax planning lead, we need to know exactly who we're going after. What niche are they in? Are we going after dentists, chiropractors, orthodontists? Who exactly is that customer type? How old are they? Are they in their 40s, their 50s? Are they a younger millennial who just started an internet business? Who exactly are these customers? And what do they care about? What are they interested in? What turns them on? These are certain things that you need to know before you even think about trying to generate, a high quality tax planning lead, because a lot of tax firms will just take anybody and everybody who has a tax problem or this or that No, you need to be specific. If you're trying to scale and have a repeatable process where you can generate leads day in and day out that are high quality, you need to be specific, and you're going to understand why later in this training. There needs to be specificity in exactly who you want to target. So for example, we want to target a real estate investor around 40 to 65 years old, and they want to retire with rental income tax-free. So that will be our target customer that we'll take along this journey in this training. So the next thing is understanding what problem do they have. Again, that is extremely important because there's a connection. If a person has a very, very high level problem, they're willing to pay high level fees for the services to get it fixed. That's incredibly important. So we need to find customers. When it comes to tax planning, we're working with customers to make sure they don't pay high taxes. So understanding what these customers are going through is extremely important. So you have to understand, what problems do your niche have? Are they overpaying in taxes? Do they have capital gains issues? Are they trying to sell a business tax-free? What exact problem are you going to solve for this certain customer when it comes to your business? So for example, we'll go back to the real estate investor. The real estate investor is looking to pay as little in taxes as possible so they can increase their cap rate and make more rental income. That's the exact problem this customer has. They want to pay as little money as possible in taxes. They want to increase their cap rates so they can make more rental income. That is the exact issue these customers are facing. Okay? So now that we know that, we can move on to the next step. What makes your service offering different? You know, there's a million tax firms out here. Half of the customers out there don't even know what tax compliance is versus tax planning. So you have to make sure your service offering is different, and what you're telling the customer makes them feel like, oh my gosh, this service is for me. That's extremely important, to have them say, oh, this service was meant for me. Because when you're able to niche down like that and speak to a certain demographic, you're able to charge higher service fees because you're so specific. And that's a key secret on how we scale a tax planning business, because our fees are, they command a high price point because we're so specific. So what makes your service offering different? So for example, we work strictly with a certain type of client and understand how to leverage the tax codes effectively. Or we have a 10-point analysis to effectively assess how much we can help you save. What is like your key differentiator? And maybe your key differentiator is just simply, we just strictly work with real estate investors. You know, we work specifically with real estate investors because we know how to leverage the exact tax laws to help you save on taxes. That right there can make your service offering special. We just specialize with real estate investors. And sometimes it's that simple, okay? So the next thing that we have to do is step 4. We have to create a value exchange. So now that we know exactly who our core customer is, what their pain points are, what they care about, now we need to create a value exchange so we can get their contact information. And what a value exchange is the irresistible bribe offering a specific chunk of value to a prospect in exchange for their contact information. So for example, we can create a webinar where we talk about how to save on your taxes and increase your cap rate by 5 to 7%. We can create an ebook for real estate investors on 10 real estate tax secrets to keep your tax bill low. We could put together a presentation and present at an event where real estate investors are and exchange value to that audience. In exchange, we'll get their contact information. You see what I'm saying? There needs to be a value exchange. And it starts at giving first. That's one of the core values that we have at Tax Pro Grow. Give first and you'll get back. So those are the 3 value exchanges that we have to create. You can create just one. You don't have to create all 3, but you can create just one. So let's move on to the next aspect. Where do your customers hang out now? Now that we have something that we want to give people that's going to educate them in exchange for their contact information, we have to find out exactly where these customers are so we can give this to them. So does your customer live on Facebook or LinkedIn? Are they at trade shows? And you need to go speak at a trade show because that's where your core customers is. Are there certain events that they're at? Are there certain networking meetings that you need to go to and speak at where you can exchange value to them? You see, so for us, our real estate investors are hanging out on Facebook. So we'll run ads to our free webinar, which we talked about. You can run a free webinar for real estate investors where we talk about how to save on your taxes and increase your cap rate by 5 to 7%. So at the end of the day, you need to exchange value. That's why if you're a professional, that's why you go to different conferences to learn about the latest and greatest in the tax space. That's why you go to different entrepreneur events so you can learn and get value. You tend to want to work with somebody when somebody is delivering value. It's the exact same thing in this industry. Deliver value. That's what we call a value exchange. And a value exchange comes in many forms. It could become in a webinar, an ebook, a presentation at some event. And at the end of that exchange, you're looking to get the contact information. That's why that's so important, okay? Then at the end of that value exchange, let's say after they download your ebook, after they watch your webinar, or after you do a presentation with them at a leads club, you want to call and follow up with them and try to get them booked for an appointment. That's extremely important. So if a person comes on your webinar, watches your webinar, you're going to have their contact information. The next day, you want to follow up, call them, and try to get them a book an appointment and fill out a survey so you could qualify them prior to your consultation call. Extremely important. Whether you do a presentation, whether you have an ebook for download, or whether you have a webinar, you always want to follow up with those leads and get them to fill out a survey and book an appointment. And now you're going to have a list of people who are on your calendar, and you're going to see who's qualified, who's not qualified, and just have appointments with people who are the most qualified, who understood your value, what you're about, and are primed up in a position where they can't afford your services, which is extremely important. Then once you have the call, you close the deal, and that's what it's all about. And that's really how you end up generating high quality tax planning leads. So let's go back to the front. Let's review. So at the beginning, we need to understand, I taught you how to understand who your target customer is. You need to define exactly who your target customer is. The next thing is you want to define what their core problem is. Are they overpaying on taxes on their real estate? Next, what makes your service offering different? We focus just on serving real estate investors. Where does that core customer hang out? They hang out on Facebook. What could I create to exchange value for them? I could create a webinar where I basically educate them on how to basically save on taxes and increase their cap rates. The last part, follow up, book an appointment, and get them to fill out a survey. That is the exact process to generate high value tax planning leads every single day in your business. Every single day. And if you could master this process, you can exponentially grow your business. And for our consultancy business, this model that we use easily got us up to 7 figures by just utilizing this model all the time and these core principles, which are so important, incredibly important. So if you're interested in potentially working with Tax Pro Grow, we would love to help you out and help grow your tax practice. We are having 45-minute strategy sessions where we'll hop on the phone, we'll speak to you about exactly what you're doing in your business, strategize on how we can help you potentially grow and see where there's some growth opportunities so we can scale you up. Or if you're thinking about starting a tax planning practice. We'd love to have a conversation with you and speak to you about the opportunity and see how we can help you grow exponentially. So thank you. I am Kenneth Dennis, and I hope you enjoyed this presentation.